There's a lady called Dr. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross who shared 5 stages of grief in 1965. She wrote a book on death and dying out of work she did in the hospice, among people in the hospice, those who were, in the process of dying. And she said the stages of grief are shock and denial, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. But she also says that not everybody goes through all the stages, and they are not linear. So you don't say, ako denial, ataenda acceptance. No, you can't. And I'm not telling you this so that you can diagnose anybody. I'm just saying so that it can help you understand. So the first thing is shock and denial. Like, no way. You hear people saying, no way. Like, it can't be. Possibly. How? The person was so well the last minute. No, it can't happen. And that's okay because your brain is shielding you from the impact of the loss. Maybe you will break down if you absorb the impact at that point. So your brain is shielding you from the impact of the loss by like, no way. Like, no, it cannot be. Then you go through another stage. Sorry, and I said it's not in order. Anger, somebody can be angry at themselves. They can be angry at the person who died. They can be angry at God. You hear people saying, maybe I could have done something more. They are dying and they are leaving me. God, like, I've always served you. I've always done this. God, how could you do this at this point? Anger. And when you're angry, when you're blaming someone or something, it deflects it from you. You don't feel so bad because you're like, this is someone's fault. Maybe they didn't take care of themselves. Maybe God let me down. Maybe it's me. I should have done this. As long as you're angry, for some reason, you have deflected it away from you. Then we have the stage of bargaining. Bargaining, like maybe somebody is diagnosed with a chronic illness. They're like, Aki, God, if you heal me, I'm going to serve you for the rest of my life. I was reading the lesson this week. There's a story that was given at the end of the Friday part. I don't know whether you can find it in the hard copy, but I read the soft copy, so I found it. The story was talking about this gentleman. He was a pastor in training. He was diagnosed with HIV. He acknowledges that in his former life, he led a life that, he made wrong choices. So he was tested HIV positive. He was so discouraged. I think he left the seminary. I don't remember the details very well. But what is significant, it says that one time he actually told God, I don't even want you to heal me from HIV. I just want you to use me. So he prayed, and when he finished the prayer, he felt something in his body, some sensations in his body. When he went for testing, he was negative. It's a true story shared because the gentleman is a pastor now. He's a missionary to Spain, if I'm not wrong. So when he went for test, it was negative. He kept going for tests, they were negative. Then the health worker asked, but why are you testing all the time? It has shown negative. Why do you keep on testing? So he was negative. He now has a family. He's a missionary. He's serving God. But what I wanted to say is that he told God, I don't want you to heal me from HIV. Like he had gone past the bargaining stage where you tell God, Aki, God, if you heal me, if this happens, God, I will serve you. You're bargaining. If only my mother can get well, God, I will serve you. I will stop everything I was doing. Bargaining stage. And then we have depression where there's a calm. People just keep quiet. They no longer care. You see maybe even self-care. They're not even coming, if it's church, associating, they are just there. And when you look at a man, you can see they are a shadow of their former self. You look at the dressing, maybe you're like, the way I know you, you wouldn't dress this way. They don't care. Some people just throw caution to the wind. They're eating anything. Someone told me, I just want to be honest with you, I've been eating chocolate for breakfast, lunch, and supper. Chocolate. I said, what has that done to you? She said, I've gained a lot of weight, but I'm just in bed, just eating chocolate all through, And she said, when I see people calling, I don't pick my call. Like, I'm not talking to anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody. Just want to be in bed, taking chocolate. The time that somebody doesn't want to associate is the time that they need human presence, even the most. Then finally, there's a stage of acceptance. People finally accept. They say, I've accepted that the loss is deep. I've experienced it. I don't know about tomorrow, but I know who holds tomorrow, and I know who holds my hand. I will keep walking. Again, I said, the stages are not meant for you to diagnose anybody, and they are not linear, and not everybody experiences them, okay? All of them in that order.